What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Marvel Snap video. It's been a minute, but we're back with a patch notes breakdown and review. There's a lot to go through, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, the first thing on the list here is Kitty Pryde returns. Kitty Pryde was a card that released, man, I think it was about 2 months ago now. Had some bugs, so it was disabled for a while, and now Kitty Pryde is back, and everyone is getting Kitty Pryde for free as long as it was a account that was created before today's patch. And if it was an account created after today's patch, Kitty Pryde will be available in Series 5. So this is really good. New cards, free cards is good for everybody. I didn't get Kitty Pryde when she first dropped, so I'm excited to play with her myself and see what kind of decks she can fit into. Then after that, we have a new feature, deck cosmetics customization. Cosmetic customizations by deck, card back, title, avatar. Avatars and titles can now be applied to each deck separately. So a small change, but a small good quality of life change. Nothing too crazy, but being able to have different card backs and different avatars, different titles for certain decks is a nice little update that, I'm happy with. And then we have the series drops. So here are all the cards dropping from Series 5 to Series 4. Master Mold, Negasonic, Nimrod. Series 4 to 3, Sentry, Silver Surfer, Dazzler, Shadow King, Sauron, and Ghost. And cards staying in Series 4, Darkhawk, and Null. So there's a lot to talk about here. Maybe I'll do another separate video recommending which cards to pick up and which cards to avoid. But the biggest thing I want to address here is this thing right here. Cards staying in Series 4, Darkhawk and Null. And this is something that I've seen a lot of people are upset with right now at the moment, because if you can recall with the prior series drops, Second Dinner would release some information, usually maybe like about a week or so in advance prior to the patch, letting you know which cards were dropping. And that was good information to know. That way you can save up your collector's tokens or you can stock up on your collector's reserves. But we didn't get any confirmation as to which cards were dropping. Now, to be fair, we do have a sort of a general guideline, and we know what kind of pattern Second Dinner has when dropping cards in series. But we didn't get an official confirmation this time as to which cards were dropping. So this feels a little deceptive to me, and it really sucks that it's Darkhawk and Null, because Darkhawk is the best 4-cost card in the game right now and one of the best cards overall in the game. And Null is a good card in Galactus decks and as well as Destroy decks, which recently got buffed with the Venom change, right? So this is kind of deceptive to me. I'm not a fan of this. I wish that they, told us in advance, and ideally I wish these cards would just drop to Series 3. I think that would be way better, because all these cards dropping from Series 4 to Series 3. Silver Surfer is really good. Sentry is okay. Dazzler, Shadow King, Sauron, and Ghost are okay as well. It's really like Silver Surfer is the best one out of this group. Everything else is just kind of mid. But yeah, it kind of sucks. We're getting all these mid cards that no one really cares about for the most part. I know there's some people out there that love, Sentry. Shout out Jolly Rogers. Some people that love Shadow King and Ghost and whatnot. But Darkhawk and Null are pretty much better than all of these cards except Silver Surfer. Well, I guess Darkhawk is better than Silver Surfer. But my point is, Darkhawk and Null should be dropping to Series 3. And yeah, kind of upset that they're not. And I wish we had some better communication from Second Dinner about this. Now, next up, we got some changes to ranked mode. The number of cubes required to rank up decreased from 10 to 7 cubes, and then the number of bonus ranks gained when tiering up has been reduced from 5 ranks to 3 ranks. So, for example, when ranking up from rank 29, a player will go to rank 33 instead of rank 35. So, this is interesting. This is actually going to make the climb a little bit more tedious for people who want to get to infinite rank if you haven't reached infinite rank already this season. I'm not sure how to feel about this change. I do feel like 5 extra ranks was was very generous. Before that, it was just one extra rank, right? So 1 to 5 is a big change. 3 is kind of in the middle there. I can see how people would be upset with this, like in the middle of the season. I think this should be something that they drop like at the beginning of the next season because that kind of sucks, right? Because there are some people, like me, for example, who I'm not someone who rushes to get to infinite rank like the first week of the game or even the first day of the game. And there are some people who do that and they get enjoyment from, speed running to infinite rank. But there are some people who be like, they take their time. I'll just grind like the last week of the game or whatever. And that kind of sucks now because now those people who take their time are kind of getting punished in a way. Um, yeah, it kind of sucks. So I like the change from 5 to 3 ranks. I think 5 ranks was a little too generous, but I wish the timing of this was better. I wish they should have just released this basically at the start of the next season is what I'm trying to say. And there's a small little update here that kind of gets lost in the sauce. But this says when purchasing an item from the shop, you must now press and hold the button to confirm your purchase. So now, again, another little small change, but a good one. Sometimes when you're playing on mobile, it's easy to just accidentally tap like a variant or something, right? And you didn't mean to buy it. Well, now you have a little bit of extra confirmation, which, confirmation should be required when purchasing anything in this game, in my opinion. So this is a good change. We have some audio changes and general updates. Not going to go over those. And then we have balance updates. First off, we got Kitty Pryde here. Released with a new design. The old was a 1-0. You can return this to your hand to gain +2 power. The new ability, she's still a 1-0, but when this returns to your hand, +2 power, returns at the start of each turn. So basically, she returns to your hand automatically instead of previously she would return to your hand only when you would do it manually. So this change is, I think it's definitely worse than her previous ability because now it's kind of awkward, right? Return to the start of each turn. I don't have too much to say about this as I haven't played with the old version of Kitty Pryde myself. I didn't have her, and I'm definitely going to experiment with Kitty Pryde. Overall, I think this is a weaker effect than the previous ability. And, I've been saying Nebula is the best one-cost card in the game right now, and maybe will Kitty Pryde take that title from Nebula? I don't know. We'll see, but pretty excited to experiment with Kitty Pryde. And then we have Crystal, a card that has been basically not played for a long time. The only time she saw a little bit of play was when Zabu first came out and Zabu was broken and people were just throwing every 4-cost card in the game in a deck. And even then Crystal wasn't worth it. So let's take a look here. She's still a 4/4, but her on-reveal ability, the old one, is if this is at the middle location, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 cards. New ability, on-reveal, each player draws a card. Now, I'm super excited about this because if you know me, I love playing Ronin, and this synergizes with Ronin. You're forcing your opponent to draw a card to buff up your Ronin, and as well, you're drawing a card for yourself. And as well, if we scroll back up here, Master Mold is dropping from Series 5 to Series 4, and Master Mold goes great in Ronin decks because he's going to add 2 Sentinels to your opponent's hand. So I'm excited to pick up Master Mold, try out this new Crystal, try out Ronin. I think this could actually be a legit deck with Crystal, Ronin, Master Mold. So very, very excited. Now, should her stat line change? Should she have a power increase maybe? Perhaps, because Maximus is a 3/7 and he draws your opponent 2 cards, but he doesn't draw yourself a card like Crystal does. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. But overall, this is definitely an improvement over her previous ability. Next up, this is a big one, probably the biggest change out of all the cards here. Wave is a 3/3. Still a 3/3, and its previous on reveal ability was next turn, cards in both players' hands cost 4. Its new ability is on reveal, all cards cost 4 until the end of next turn. So this is a little bit of a text change, but it actually works as it's intended. So let's take a look at the notes here. Wave's cost reduction occurs after other effects that reduce card costs. In addition to a text update that clarifies when Wave's effect begins. We've also made a rather large adjustment under the hood. Wave will now begin to apply after effects that reduce card cost rather than before. That means She-Hulk, Death, etc. will always cost 4 while Wave is in effect. So this basically, I think it basically kills Death Wave decks and Doom Wave decks, because now cards like She-Hulk, Death, etc. will always cost 4. So basically with Death Wave, the point of that deck was, as long as you destroyed 4 cards, Death will cost 0, because you play Wave, Death gets discounted to 4, and then -4 from destroying 4 cards, Death will then cost 0. But now her effect takes place after the card reducing effect rather than before. So let's say we destroy 4 cards, Death will cost 5, and then we play Wave. Well, before it would be Death would be free, Death would be 4, then -4. But now it 4 just overrides it completely, which I'm a fan of. I've been saying I feel like Wave is a broken card. It's been like way too good for a little while now. But what I will say, what I'm not a fan of, is if this text if this text is saying what I think it means, will always cost 4, etc. Right? She-Hulk, Death, etc. will always cost 4 while Wave is in effect. And I haven't confirmed it for myself, but I have seen some other people in Discord saying that this is the case, is that other ongoing cards like Sarah or Zabu also get overridden. To me, that doesn't really make sense, because those are ongoing cards. She-Hulk and Death are not ongoing. So to me, that makes sense for their abilities to get overridden by Wave. But for Sarah and Zabu to get overridden, to me that doesn't make sense, because their effect is ongoing. So it should be like, let's say you have Zabu on the board, you play Wave. Well, technically all cards cost 4, but Zabu says your 4 cost cards cost 1 less. So you should be able to play 2 4 cost cards because they cost 3 each. But if this text is saying what I think it says, it means they will cost 4 no matter what. And if that's the case, I'm not a fan of that aspect of it. Again, maybe I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, because I haven't confirmed this myself. But from what I have been seeing, people are saying that Wave overrides ongoing abilities. So to me, that is a little bit puzzling to me. But overriding She-Hulk and Death, I am a fan of. Next up, we have Death going from a 9/12 to an 8/12. So Death is going to cost 1 less because of the Wave interaction. I think this is a fairly good change. Maybe we'll be seeing more Galactus though, which I don't really want to see more Galactus. I don't hate Galactus as much as some other people do, but it definitely can be frustrating to play against. But overall, I think if you do make a huge nerf to Wave, then I think you do need to make some slight buff to Death, and I think that's fair. So we'll see how it goes, but I think this is fair right now. And then we have White Queen, a text-only change. Same ability, basically, same stat line. Draw a copy of the highest cost card in your opponent's hand. Now reads, copy the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand. I feel like that sounds even more confusing, maybe. I guess they're trying to kind of take away the draw word, because you're technically not drawing a card, you're copying a card from your opponent's hand. But this does sound a little confusing. Like if I were someone new coming into Marvel Snap and I was reading this, copy the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand, like, I would probably be confused if I was someone who was new to the game. So I think there could be a better way to word this, but it's not. that big of a deal. And then we have a bunch of bug fixes and issues that I'm not going to go over into. But as of recording, we got another update in addition to this. So let me bring up the notes on that real quick. All right, so next up here, we have a little bit of a little bonus update here. This is coming from the official Marvel Snap Discord in the Game Updates channel. So card acquisition updates. The next few months are going to be truly epic for Marvel Snap. We have a new mode coming out next month called Conquest. Marvel Snap on Windows continues to get polished and prepared for its global launch. And lastly, we're dreaming up ways of improving the fun of getting new cards. We've seen a lot of questions and feedback about how we introduce new cards into Marvel Snap. With our next patch on the horizon, we'd like to share some updates about our plans to improve how you acquire new cards. Our goal over the next few months is to find ways for more people to get the chance to play with new cards more often. Flexible series release. We've heard many players express that releasing every new card in Series 5 is interfering with their ability to get excited about those releases. Very, very true. We don't want you to feel pressure to wait for series drops in order to enjoy that content, and we'd like you to be able to play with more new cards each month. Our goal is to make all new card releases feel exciting, accessible, and impactful in Marvel Snap. In our future seasons, we'll be experimenting with releasing some cards directly to Series 4, starting with 2 cards released to Series 4 in June. This is something that a lot of people have been asking for, including myself here, so they'll be releasing some cards straight to Series 4, and that'll be starting in June, which is actually next month. So very, very happy about that. And how about release some cards to Series 3 as well, right? Come on now. We believe releasing some cards at lower token cost will increase accessibility and excitement for new cards released each week. We'll be listening to your feedback to find the right balance between Series 5 versus Series 4 card releases. So far, this is looking like a pretty good change because not every card should be releasing at Series 5. For example, some cards like Snow Guard, which is just a really trash card that should not cost 6,000 tokens. Really, that should be a Series 3 card, not even Series 4. But it's a step in the right direction, I suppose. And what else do they have to say? In addition to modifying the release series for some cards, we'll also be taking a look at the series drop cadence for cards. Currently, all cards are on the same schedule, starting in Series 5, dropping to Series 4, and eventually Series 3. However, the reality is that not all cards are created equally appealing to players. Snow Guard. Going forward, we're going to exercise more flexibility in what cards drop series and when. Sometimes this means persevering the series of a card, as is the case with Thanos and Galactus. Other times this means we may drop a card from Series 5 to Series 3 because we simply want more people to experiment with. Now that's what I'm talking about right there. We may even skip a monthly series drop entirely when the meta looks fun and healthy. Now that doesn't make sense to me. May skip a monthly series drop. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. That just like, I don't know what it is with secondary. Like it's like one step forward, 2 steps back. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would you skip a monthly series drop? But I digress. These decisions will be made on a card-by-card basis based on data and player feedback instead of applying a blanket rule to all cards. But what the thing is, like, what data are they talking about, right? Like they always talk about this internal data they have, but they never share that data with us. So we form our own data from things like SnapFan, Untapped, and those things still aren't 100% accurate because, it can only record like PC gameplay and not like mobile gameplay, iOS, Apple, iPhone users, whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I wish they would share more data with us if they're saying that these decisions will be based on data and player feedback. In our upcoming patch, we're dropping more cards into Series 3 than we ever have before. In addition, some of our more impactful cards are staying in their current series for longer than expected. There are some fun cards in this drop, and we hope they inspire you to experiment with new decks. And these are all, these were the cards that were announced dropping already. Cards staying in Series 4, Darkhawk, Null, Shanna, Stature, Zabu, and MODOK. Again, why? I don't know why they're kind of like gatekeeping these cards in Series 4, especially like the season pass cards, like Zabu, right? Zabu is one of the best cards in the game, and to keep it at Series 4, to keep Darkhawk at Series 4, Stature, Modok, like why? Why are you doing that? Like I get they want people to spend money on the season pass, and the season pass is good value, and I buy the season pass every month, but not everyone can afford it, or not everyone wants to buy the season pass, and it sucks having these cards locked behind a paywall. This doesn't make sense to me. Not really happy about that. Not really happy about these cards staying in Series 4. It doesn't make sense to me. And then these are the cards dropping from Series 4 to Series 3. I already talked about these. These are mostly kind of mid cards except Silver Surfer. And then Series 3 card acquisition. In a previous patch, we made a few changes for Series 3 players that greatly increased their token earn rate and introduced the free seasonal choose your card section, which was a good change, but again, kind of take a step forward, 2 steps back with Second Dinner. It's like they added this thing where you get 1 free series card each month, which is good. Free cards are good. But then they removed the ability to buy Series 3 cards from the token shop. Because before you could buy Series 3 cards for 1,000 tokens. And that was good. That was good for people who are not Series 3 complete. And I don't know why they removed that feature. Let me stick to the topic. I'm losing my my train of thought here. This made new card releases more accessible to these players and ultimately resulted in more cards being collected. But we've heard feedback that some players would still like the flexibility to use tokens for Series 3 cards. Exactly. In addition to the Choose Your Card section, we're adding a new way to collect Series 3 cards. In our June patch, we're updating the token shop to include a new section, Series 3 Mystery Card. This option will be available for 1,000 tokens and can be purchased anytime you have enough tokens and unowned Series 3 cards. So the way this is worded, a new section in the token shop, Series 3 mystery card. And to me, mystery card is kind of like those mystery variant bundles, right? Like you buy it, but you don't know which card you're going to get. This doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't you just give people the ability to choose which Series 3 card they want to purchase? That doesn't make sense, especially when we already had the ability to choose which Series 3 card we wanted to purchase. So to replace it with this mystery nonsense, I'm not a fan of that. I really don't like that. That doesn't sit right with me. I'm not a fan of, RNG loot boxes, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I don't like this. They should just give us the free Series 3 card in addition to the Series 3 shop that we had before. And this isn't even me, like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining too much, and it does kind of sound like that, but at the same time, like, this game is so expensive compared to other card games. Even myself as a content creator, like, I don't buy every new card that releases. Like, I'm not buying Howard the Duck, dude. Like, I'm not spending 6,000 tokens on Howard the Duck. And there are some people who did. Great for you, for those who can afford it. But me, myself, I cannot afford it. And to me, to more people who are not Series 3 complete, or to new players, this kind of just seems like a big Miss Marvel thumbs up to them. That's kind of what this feels like. And to me, this really just, like, I don't know. This feels bad. Like, if I'm a new player coming into Marvel Snap, I'm like, what is this mystery shop? Like, why can't I just pick the cards that I want, right? I feel like this is driving new players away from the game, which is not good, because we want new players. We want the game to grow and to succeed and do well, because overall, I do love this game, but some of these choices are just questionable. More ways to earn tokens. Over the last couple of months, we've been making adjustments to increase the rate players are able to acquire tokens. We think there are more improvements to be made here. In the next few patches, we'll be introducing a couple more features that will reward more tokens to more players. Our goal is that with these new features increasing the flow of tokens, players will be able to purchase more new cards more frequently. The first of these new features will be weekend missions. Weekend missions offer more goals and rewards for players beyond their current daily missions and weekly missions. With the initial release of this feature, each weekend will have 3 weekend missions. Win games to earn credits. win games with season pass card to earn gold, and win games with newly released card to earn tokens. Look, look. I was already getting kind of upset, but this just took it over the edge, man. Okay, so let's break this down, right? So one complaint people have is that you do your daily missions, you do your weekly missions, and for someone who plays every day, complete your daily missions every day, by the time the weekend hits, you pretty much did all your missions and there's nothing to do in the game except just do your dailies, but you already completed all the weekly missions and all that. So this is what I assume is sort of to alleviate that downtime on the weekend when there's like nothing to do. But if we take a look at these weekend missions here, the first one is win games to earn credits. Okay, that's fair. I like winning games. I like earning credits. That's fair. Win games with season pass card to earn gold. You see the problem here? With season pass card, that means you have to buy the season pass to get access to these missions, and that is not good. That is not what we want to see. We don't want to see more greediness like this. I mean, I hate to use that word. I don't use that word lightly, but to me this just seems greedy. Like I honestly think like if you just had a better economy and better monetization system, people will just want to spend money on the game because they want to support the company. But with things like this, you're detracting people from spending money on the game, and this is not a good look. I mean, not everyone purchases the season pass, and that's okay. But people shouldn't feel like they're missing out or feel like they're being punished for not buying the season pass. Locking a mission behind a paywall just is not a good thing. And then next up, the third weekend mission, win games with newly released card to earn tokens. So this whole paragraph here, they're saying there's more ways to earn tokens, but to do that, you got to spend tokens. And how do you get tokens? By spending money. Like, make it make sense, dude. Like, what the hell? Win games with newly released cards to earn tokens. Like, I just said I don't buy every new card. So what? I have to win games with Howard the Duck now? I'm not going to buy Howard the Duck. So now I'm missing out on earning tokens? Like, I don't know, man. This is a huge L in my opinion. Big L. Just not happy about this. Not happy about this at all. Not happy about this. Each of these reward amounts will vary depending on the difficulty of the mission. There will be weekly missions available for each new card release. Weekly missions for a newly released card are a great way to earn back tokens with your new cards, essentially reducing the overall token cost. That to me is just like, again, I'm someone that I usually like to keep a positive attitude, but I gotta call it how it is, and this is just BS, man. Like, basically saying you're reducing the token cost of buying a new card, like that. Just I don't like that. I don't like that. Like, we should be getting tokens for free, like in the season pass or like the daily missions or the weekly missions, not these weekend missions where you got to spend tokens to earn tokens. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, come on, dude. Just not a fan of this. Not a fan of this. Thank you for your feedback. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So it seems like a lot of people are happy with this, and then a lot of people are not happy with this, considering on the upvotes and downvotes. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there are some good things in here, right? Talking about flexible series release, like some cards, instead of releasing straight at Series 4, they're going to release instead of releasing straight at Series 5, they're releasing straight to Series 4, which is good. I like that. And some cards dropping in series, instead of dropping from 5 to 4, they'll go from 5 to 3. Again, I like that. That's a good change. I'll give them credit where credit is due, but I'll also call them out on nonsense like this. Cards staying in Series 4. This doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't sit right with me that the paid cards, Zabu and MODOK, the season pass cards, are staying in Series 4. And it doesn't sit right with me, this mystery card shop, especially when we had a normal Series 3 shop before already. So that doesn't make sense to me. And these weekend missions, locking 2 out of the 3 weekend missions behind a paywall is just not a good look. So overall, with this patch, I gotta say I'm not happy with it. Like I'm happy with the balance changes. Like Crystal getting a buff is nice, and the wave nerf is good. Maybe the wave nerf is a little bit too harsh, but overall I'm happy Crystal got buffed. I'm happy Master Mold is getting dropped because I want to play with him. I'm happy Kitty Pryde is releasing for free for pretty much everybody. I'm happy about that, but overall, just again, it's just this weird token economy card series acquisition system that Second Dinner has made, and I guess they wanted to be different from everyone, right? They wanted to have everyone's card collection be unique. They wanted to be different from all the other card games, which good for them, good on them for innovating and trying something different. But to me, it's not working. Like, this is not a good system. So hopefully, like, I don't know. Overall, I still love Marvel Snap. I will continue to play Marvel Snap. I will continue to make Marvel Snap content, but overall, not really happy about these changes. I will say, in the past, though, whenever the community has been pretty vocally angry about something, Second Dinner has done something to correct it. So just, let them know your thoughts, your feedback on Discord or Twitter or whatever. Just don't attack them. Like, no one deserves to be personally attacked or harassed or threatened or anything like that, right? Just give them your honest feedback and just let them know what you don't like. And they're saying that they're going to continue to listen to our feedback and make updates as they see fit. So, just let them know how you're feeling, but just don't harass them or threaten them or anything like that, But anyways, overall, that's my thoughts. Just some good in here, but mostly not good, in my opinion. I don't know. There's a lot to take in here. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below, and like the video if you enjoyed this rant. This video is probably way longer than I thought it would be. But yeah, once again, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you, and see you in the next one. Later.